Thanks so much, James, and thanks for having me out. James is actually the one who convinced me to do a marathon the first time, so thanks, James. I always enjoy coming out to the Mogul Mastermind groups. I think I've been coming around here for about 4 or 5 years now, and there always seems to be such a good energy in this crowd. People are coming here to share, to learn, and hats off to Mogul and their team for creating this community. I know I've learned so much from a real estate perspective. All the other presenters coming up here, I find it's an invaluable source to get a different perspective. I mean, this new membership, I think it's just going to be better and better as they're going to have all that content. I know for about 10 years now, I've always called James and be like, do you have a lease agreement? Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? And I kept thinking, why are you just giving this to me? But I think it's so great that there's a resource for individuals like yourselves who can really, really leverage this content that they've created. So, great job, Mogul, and thanks for having me out. So, renovating your finances. I tried to make my theme sound real estate-y, like construction, you do renovation. So, we're going to renovate our finances for 2020. The fact is, though, we wanted to not only renovate our finances in 2020, but ongoing. So today I'm going to talk about 7 key areas that I feel can help anybody renovate their finances. And some of these things are maybe things you've heard of, some of them you might not have heard of, some of them you might have just passed by. But I've taken this information from successful clients. As James said, I own a cooperator, also a financial planning firm. I'm a certified financial planner, so I do financial planning on a regular basis. Actually, I'm going back on here. So this is a bit about me, but I do financial planning on a regular basis. I have been investing in real estate for 10 years. I was at my friend's condo one day, and there was this sweet-talking guy across the hall eating guacamole and nachos, and it was Mr. James Canal, and 10 years later, I've gotten several properties off him. So I certainly understand the attraction to real estate, the benefit to real estate, how real estate can enhance, control, and build wealth in your portfolio. So I'll certainly be talking this from a real estate perspective from twofold. You guys are all real estate investors, and I'm a real estate investor, and I use real estate in my portfolio. I am a dad and a wife, I have a wife, and they're really awesome. I like all 3 of them. Like James said, I wrote a blog called Motivate Effort, but I'm fascinated by money. I'm fascinated by the complexities money have. I'm fascinated by the things that money enables us to do. I'm fascinated that money stresses the hell out of people. It makes people divorce, but yet it sends people to do amazing trips around the world. I also believe money is deeply rooted in our psychologies, and that's a whole other topic that is extremely, extremely interesting. But I love money and all the things around it. I don't like money itself, just a piece of paper, but I like what it can do for us. And it also interests me what the harm it does. I'm an amateur foodie. I say amateur because I really like to eat all types of good food. I'm not the best cook, so that's where the amateur comes in. Lastly, I'll just say I'm a huge Boss fan. Any other Springsteen fans here? Oh, just 2? Wow. Okay, well, you guys are missing out. Anyway, so renovating your finances. 7 essential steps for building your wealth in 2020 and beyond. I kind of talked about where this information is coming from. My clients, I looked at what the successful ones are consistently doing. I've read hundreds of books on personal finance and taking themes on what the consistent message is, and also just looking at people who I feel are successful. And for me, success is not the amount of dollars in your bank account. That's a contributing factor, but it's also are they happy? Do they have a fulfilled life? Do they enjoy what they're doing? And of course, the financial means to do that. So that's the criteria I looked at when I created these 7 steps. And there's a caveat. I am a certified financial planner. I'm giving no financial advice here. It's personal finance for a reason. Everybody has their own unique situation, so I'm not telling any of you what to do. Merely, I'm giving you suggestions. Each of these 7 steps, though, can be applied to everybody's situation. I didn't just specifically pick a tactic that only works for a certain individual. Lastly, I'll say, don't discount them. Something that I've learned from successful people is they just do things that work. Often we're looking for the secret sauce, and every single successful person makes that same joke that I'm a 20-year, 15-year, 5-year overnight success. It's because they hear things that work and just do them. But that's the hardest part. Someone once told me that our life is an accumulation of what we do on a daily basis. Basically, what we do every single day is what we're going to be in the future. So let's go to our habits. Successful people, people who are financially wealthy, people who are financially healthy, have fantastic habits that push them in the right direction. So, enough with that. When we're doing a construction project or renovating, the first thing we got to do is design our blueprints or our drawings. We got to figure out what the heck we're doing, right? Our finances are no different. For me, underneath that, it's find your financial why. You've probably heard this before, but it's so powerful. And what I mean by your financial why, basically answering the question, why do we trade our time or sell our time for money? We do it all the time, but why are we doing that? And hopefully, it's not to have $5 million in the bank account. I mean, like, that sounds super attractive. We're like, oh yeah, like, I want $500 or $5 million. But a recent study that came out in the journal Psychology showed they interviewed ultra-wealthy people who are defined as having a liquid $5 million, so liquid, like they can spend it tomorrow, had a 20% more likely chance of becoming depressed than middle-income earners. Like, let that sit in there. A lot of people are chasing this money. I want $5 million. But with it comes a 20% more likelihood of becoming depressed. And we ask ourselves why, and there's many reasons. The article laid out some really, really good ones, but I certainly think, and other research proves, that it's not having a purpose, a reason to use that money. They see money as the end game, so they sacrifice their health, time, family, so many different things because they think the pursuit of money is going to make them happy. They get this money, and they're like, holy shit, this was fake. This isn't going to make me happy. I'm still the same brain. I'm still the same everything. So, I'm not saying having $5 million is a bad thing. I'm not saying that at all. But if we don't have a purpose, a cause, a reason why we're making this money, why we're sacrificing it, it can be a lonely place. Let's talk about that. So, a lot of you probably know who Robin Sharma is. He's a thought leader in leadership. He has said numerous of times, he works with many billionaires, that he can't count on his two hands how many billionaires who he has met who are miserable. And you think, wow, I'm not going to empathize with that. Billionaires, how can you be miserable? But think about it. If you sacrificed everything in your life for this fallacy, this belief that once you get there, it's going to be trophy, it's going to be awesome, and you get there and you're like, oh shit, it's not happening. No wonder the depression rate's so high. So, number one, if we're doing a renovation project, we've got to design or build our basement suite, whatever. But for our finances, we've got to know why we're trading or selling our time. Because if we don't, we've got a higher chance to get depressed. Action. Simple. Seek clarity on your financial why. And that's clarity, so we can know exactly why we're making this thing called money. Number two, when we're renovating a house. This picture. So my financial why is to have the freedom to do or experience life's beautiful moments. Sure, the word beautiful sounds fluffy, but that's honestly what it is for me. This is a picture from October. Beautiful moment to me is stealing my 3-year-old sucker and watching him get upset. But this was, we spent a month in Mexico, and this is in Oaxaca City, it's in the middle of Mexico. It was just amazing. So for me, that's my financial why, is to have the freedom to go to Mexico, the freedom to go eat with food I want at the coolest local restaurant, the freedom to do things that actually fill me up. That's why I trade my time for money when I do. Yeah, well, that's a laser. That's not going to change. Okay, number two, if we're doing a renovation project, we need to determine our cost. From a financial perspective, we need to determine how much we need. I cannot tell you how many clients I meet or people I meet who are like, I'm saving, I'm building wealth. I'm like, okay, so what's the end plan? They're like, well, I'm just building wealth. And they don't really know how much they need. They don't know how much they need to make that, like build wealth this month or over the course of the year. And as James said, I'm a runner, so I'm going to draw a parallel to running. If you wanted to run a marathon, like I did my very first time, I had no idea what my time was. I had no idea. Me and James they said go, and we just went. And the problem with that is I was just aimlessly running around, burning energy. Someone would pass me, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to pass this person. The Lululemon cheer team was cheering on, I'm like, yeah, and I'm running fast. And by like kilometer 32, I was just a mess. Completely burnt out, hit the wall, could barely walk, and I just like hobbled across the finish line. But I find building wealth is very similar. If we don't know where we're going, we expose ourselves to a lot of risk. We see phenomenal investment opportunities. We're like, oh yeah, I'm going to go do that, because that looks cool and sexy. So running a marathon, you need to know your pace. You need to know the maximum pace you can go and the minimum pace to take your time. And I feel like investing in real estate is the same thing, is that we need to understand what is our goal. If it's $2 million and you want to do it over 5 years, well, that's your goal. You break that down over 5 years. Not saying you can't go above that pace, but just know what your end goal is. And the big reason why is because sometimes you don't need to expose yourself to so much risk in order to attain your goal. I've met many clients who have come to me after financial catastrophe that were like at 80 to 90% of the financial goals, but they just didn't realize it, and they kept taking more and more riskier investment options, and then it just collapsed. And now they're like, oh shit, I gotta go figure this out. So they're like, maybe I should call someone. So, number 2 is determine your cost. So the action is determine how much you need. And then look at that every quarter, 4 times a year. Just look at it. Look at your net worth statement. Is it increasing? Is it decreasing? And why? And then that allows you to do course corrections. But it's so important. If we are going somewhere, we need to know where we're going. And of course, it's never going to change. But at least know where you're going. Number 3 is organize everything. So when I first got into this industry, I noticed everyone's finances were disorganized. I mean, we're humans. We don't really like that part of financial planning. We like to go find the cool, awesome investment opportunities. But I've come to realize that not most people's finances are organized. Pretty much everybody's is until they actually take the time to pay attention to it. And the issue that I've seen over the years with having disorganized finances is that money leaks out. It leaks out in paying too much interest. It leaks out in lost opportunity costs. It leaks out in taking too much risk and exposing your wealth because you might lose it. So for me, organization is huge. And back to the construction theme, everyone here has probably dealt with contractors. And you probably dealt with an extremely organized contractor and an extremely disorganized contractor. Which one would you rather deal with? Organized. Which one do you think makes more money? Disorganized? Oh, organized, yeah. The organized one. And now, we don't have to answer this, but if you actually thought about your finances and were completely honest with just yourself, if you had to say you're organized or disorganized, that's a good place to start, and when you're being honest with yourself. So, I truly see and have seen when people are organized in all 6 areas, and this is what we focus on, but we've seen this works, is that if you're focused on your tax, investment, estate, risk, insurance, and cash flow and debt management, that sounds like 7, but cash flow and debt together. So 6 areas, you then have the foundation to stop leaking out your wealth and have the foundation to know what kind of risk you want to take. And then when you take those new investments, you substantially grow your wealth. It's no different than this organized versus disorganized contractor. A simple analogy is if you have a cup of water and you want to fill that darn cup with water, but it's got a darn hole at the bottom, it's going to take you forever. Disorganized finances usually result in leakage in areas that you don't know because they're disorganized. From a tax perspective, you could probably save a lot of percentage on your taxes, which translates to a lot of dollars. So, as real estate investors, we like finding awesome deals, and that's what we do, and that's what you guys do well, and that's what Mogul does awesome. So keep finding those deals, but maybe in 2020 we take some time to actually organize our finances. And something that I strongly recommend is organize them in all 6 of these areas and put them in one central, easy to access document. and go back and look at it every quarter. Number 4, know your ROI. And don't tell yourself, don't inflate your ROI to yourself, because I don't know why, but that tends to happen all the time. We'll talk to someone like, oh yeah, this property is getting like 35%. And just, oh, okay. And you start talking to them, and you realize they're not putting in taxes into the property or maintenance costs. And, well, is that the real ROI? So know your ROI and know the real ROI. Because if we're just like going to a meeting and being like, yeah, my ROI is 35%, what's yours? And it's not 35% good when we're fooling our own, well, our own financial journey. But ROI is a great tool, and I think it's underutilized because it's a great KPI, which is a key performance indicator. It's going to tell you how efficient of use your money is. And that's what investing is. We want to have efficient use of our money. ROI is universal amongst all investors. Like, we can use ROI if we're talking about the stock market, real estate, a business. So ROI is very universal when comparing against other investments. Another thing ROI is good. It's good to evaluate our portfolio to see how it's going over a long period of time. Because we might have been just exposed to, say, the stock market. So our brain is used to stock market, so we have a bias that stock market's the best. But maybe it's not, and we can use ROI as a key KPI to determine if other asset classes, like real estate, might be more favorable for us. It also helps us make calculated decisions. So what I mean by this is, as investors, who's ever been pitched an idea, or like an investment idea, like someone's come to you, like pretty much everybody. So if we don't know what rough ROIs, I don't know, what's someone been pitched lately? Time shares. I was doing that too. They're talking in points, and like points. You're just trying to scream them. So timeshare. If you don't know what kind of ROI a timeshare can get, some slick talking salesperson can make this thing, which they did, but actually, well, we got a resort. This is a side note. We got a resort all inclusive for our whole family for $400 a week, just for sitting in this 90-minute timeshare. Anyways, they made this thing sound so slick. And I actually had no idea what an ROI on the timeshare should be. So we were in this room, about half the size, and every time someone like signed up, they would have like honk this horn and clap. Honestly, there was probably about 7 the time we were there. And I was like, oh my God. But these people probably don't know what an ROI on the timeshare should be. They make it sound good, so now we put our financial health at risk. So when we use our ROI, it can help us make cautious decisions. There's understanding multiple industries. So I think this is super powerful. We need to know ROIs across industries. So real estate, we need to know what a basement suite, or a suite house, a commercial building, an apartment building. What kind of ROI should I expect? So when the people come and pitch us ideas, we actually know if we should be putting a red flag on this one or not. Because one thing is certainly true. No one cares about your money as much as you. Nobody. And if we're putting our money in somebody's hands, we need to do the homework. 10 minutes, okay. We need to do the homework to make informed decisions. And I'm big on this one because I've seen people get burned so many times. It seems like people get burned and then they come to us. I don't know why. So I get to see these people like, oh, this was supposed to happen. I was supposed to get a 50% return. If there's 50% return, there's a high likelihood of risk happening. But nonetheless, know your ROI. Please do your homework. Actions. Calculate the ROI on all your real estate. This is something that I do all the time, and I actually have to make sure that I calculate all the costs because those property management fees, the new furnace, the shingles, all these things have to go into your ROI. Not just appreciation, mortgage pay down, and how much you actually put down in the beginning. That's not the real ROI. Well, it could be if there's no expense. Another thing that's great is to use the overconfidence test. This thing is super cool, super simple. As investors, it's safe to say we tend to get overconfident. In investing, we use human emotions that are not rational, and as we get success, we become overconfident. And the interesting thing is, as we get success, we actually feel like we're not overcome, and that's the problem. Because as we take on more risk and it works, we like habituate to the risk, and we don't see the same risk as risky, even though it is. And that's when catastrophe can happen. And it's okay if we keep taking those risks, but we have to realize that often we put our entire future, our savings at risk, and we don't realize how much risk we're putting in. Carl Richards is an author of a book called The Behavior Gap, and he gives a 2-question rule that really helps with overconfidence. And it's just this. If I make this change, this investment, and I'm right, what impact does that have on my life? So let's see, if I take all my wealth and buy a huge commercial building, if I take it, if it doubles, well, hey, I hit my financial independence number 10 years earlier. Or, if I make this change, and I'm wrong, what impact does it have on my life? Well, I take all my net worth, put it in this commercial building. If it fails, oh shit, I'm 34 and now I got nothing. So it's a good, simple tool that actually lets you get some insight whether if you're being overconfident or not. And a lot of people use it because this graph here. As we become overconfident, the impact of our mistakes increase. And it's okay to still be risky, it's just to have insight of what we're doing. So number 5, if I'm building a construction, or doing this Renovate project, I want to reinforce everything so it's strong. Same thing as with our investment portfolios. We want to diversify. Diversification is cool. People think it's not. They think ROI, 25%, cool profit, or flipped and sells or whatever are cool. But diversification is the single tool that can help us from achieving our financial independence, financial number, whatever it is. Because everyone knows diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversification, the financial gurus of the world, like Warren Buffett, Ray Dalio, they swear by diversification. And the reason being is because the economy changes, and if we are invested in all one asset that reacts the same to the change in the economy, our future could be at risk. Our money could be at risk. So understanding diversification is real because economies change. They have for 100 years, they will continue to do so. It's understanding that when things change, not if, when things change, am I going to be at risk? So how do we build a diverse portfolio? Well, we look at different assets that aren't correlated to each other. So from a real estate perspective, if we're buying an all basement suited house in northwest Edmonton, and all my net worth there, potentially a bad economy in Edmonton can really, really impact my financial well-being, my financial plan. So you can diversify into partnerships on commercial base, geographically, you can go in different cities, you can participate in some REITs if you want, you can talk about joint ventures where you're offloading some risk in a different type of real estate class. You can get into very, very low yielding purchases, but very predictable ones, more so REITs, I think I mentioned that. So just look at your portfolio and think to yourself, how diversified am I? If something bad in the economy happens, which again it probably will, how will that impact my portfolio? If you have a lot of time on your side, it could be okay because it could recover. But we don't know for sure, but most likely will. But then the question is, if I don't have time to recover, how exposed am I? For example, 2008, it took about 8 years to get back to profitable losses from people who are high in equities, but talking about this thing. Anyhow, don't put all your eggs in a basket. I said that. Basically what this means, don't put your hope, dreams, and money in one basket because when the economy changes, it will hurt you. Determine your risk tolerance. Your risk tolerance is simply how much risk you can take. This is derived by how much time you have and how far you have to go. That's why it's so important to understand how much do you need. If I only need $1 million and I've got 5 years, I have to, 200,000 a year? I usually use calculator, yeah. Let's call it 200,000. I need $200,000 a year. Say I already, this is weird numbers here, but scratch that. Say I only needed something that returns 5% a year because I'm over that my goal. Then I don't need to take a ton of risk that's going to expose everything. but you don't know this until you actually know your risk tolerance and how much you need. So the action steps here is determine your risk tolerance. Everybody should know the risk tolerance because this helps as a lens, as a filter to make good financial decisions when you're making investments. Often we get pitched amazing deals that can be very amazing. But if we use that overconfidence test in line with our risk tolerance, now we're making good, solid financial decisions. Determine if your current portfolio is diverse. I think it's very, very important that we all look at our current portfolio and see if it's diverse. If the economy shifts in one area, what's that going to do to your portfolio? And are you okay with it? If you are, then great. Then you know. And making informed decisions are the best ones. So understand your money relationship. We're coming down to the last two. I think this one is the least talked about, but the most important. Every one of us has a money relationship. And I think it's critical in building genuine wealth. This goes back to Robin Sharma when he talks about these billionaires who are miserable. Billionaire miserable. It's probably because they don't understand their money story, their money script. There's a doctor in the United States. I'm actually taking a financial psychology postgraduate degree with him, and it's phenomenal. But he's done some study. He's a clinical psychologist and a certified financial planner who only works with people who have a net worth of 15 million or more. The reason being is because they're depressed, and his clinical background helps out. And he's come to see that there's 4 main money scripts. And money scripts are things that we learned in our formative years when we were like 1 to 5 years old when we were kids. It's when our parents talked or didn't talk about money around payday and holidays, the stress we did feel or didn't feel as children, and subconsciously, these money scripts are playing in the back of our minds, and they keep impacting us as adults. And as adults, they influence our financial behaviors and habits every single day. And when they're left unintended, some things, according to Dr. Klont's research, negative can happen. So he came up with 4 money scripts that everybody fits. And 3 out of 4 of them actually lead to negative tendencies to have a lower net worth overall and higher levels of debt. 3 out of 4, so that's a lot. Now, if you're one of these 3 out of 4, it doesn't mean you're going to have lower net worth or higher levels of debt. It's just you have a tendency to have higher debt, lower net worth when left unchecked. But if you're aware about it, you can make the changes necessary. So, the money scripts that he's identified is money avoidance. Basically, you avoid money conversations. Something has impacted you throughout your life and just don't want to talk about it. The next one is a money worshiper. You worship money. You think money is the key to success and happiness. And the third one is money status. This is when people link their self-worth with their net worth. And again, that can be a very toxic behavior. So those first 3 are the ones that have negative tendency overall when left unchecked. And the last one is money vigilance. And these are individuals who get stress and anxiety when they have to part ways with money. So a big takeaway is if you want, I can send out his brilliant assessment that gives you your money script. Within like 10 minutes you get it. And then it gives you some awesome things to work on. But I truly, truly think this is a very, very important area with building wealth and renovating our finances, because we don't want to be those $5 million people who are depressed. Last one is when we're doing a flip, reno, we don't want to lose money, right? No. When we're renovating a budget, we don't want to lose money. That's why we're doing this. Who here likes Warren Buffett's belief? Who thinks he's a good investor? Yes, I think if you don't. Warren Buffett has 2 rules. Who knows Warren Buffett's 2 rules to investing?
Don't lose money.
And what's rule number 2? See rule number 1. And so you might see that I am big on being organized, having a plan so that we don't lose money. Because it's losing, like in the stock market, if you lose 50%, you actually need 100% to get back to where you were. So not losing money is critically important. If Warren Buffett says it, I'm going to do it. So the action here is adopt a Buffett mindset. And Buffett actually lost $23 billion in 2008. So is he a hypocrite? No. He he made it through the last war, but he's more about developing that mindset that I'm not going to lose money. He always says, do your homework, be informed, and make logical decisions around investing. Take the emotions out, which is so hard. But to summarize all of this, I think it's the big thing that I have seen from our clients, the books I've read, the podcasts I've watched, is people who are completely aware of what they are doing and aware of their emotions when they're investing are the ones that succeed. So, also celebrate your accomplishments, but embrace the journey. This is a photo when I crossed the Ironman, and I did this because I thought my ego was going to be filled when I crossed that finish line. What I didn't realize was the journey to get there was the best part. The 12 months of training, cutting out time, making the daily decision to train was the best part. And it's interesting because I always say that about finances, the journey is the best part. But I just didn't even live to my own advice during this. But certainly we got to celebrate our accomplishments, but we need to enjoy the journey because really we don't know what's going to happen. So in summary, know your financial why, determine your costs. Organize everything, determine your ROI, diversify your portfolio, and know your money relationship. And finally, thanks to Warren Buffett, don't lose money. So thank you. I think we're going to have a little break now. I think it'd be cool if you guys open up a bit and go tell people what your financial why is. I think that it's a powerful thing to do. And if you have any questions about diversification or building portfolios that can manage turbulent economies or what we do with real estate in portfolios, come chat with me. I'll be around for the break. But thanks so much for coming out.